And we're pleased to be joined now by the head coach of the University of Illinois, Brad Underwood. And Coach, what does it mean to you to have that stability that Josh and the university give to you, and how does that help your program to know that you're going to be here for a long time?
Well, there's no place I'd rather be, and I've said that for a long time. And this is one of the elite programs in all of college basketball. We have tremendous fan base. Josh and the administration, Chancellor Jones, the support. You know, it's amazing how it just kind of comes together with the renovation of State Farm Center, now the complete renewal of Ubben, and building success. And so I'm really proud. I'm really excited. We're not even close to the top of the mountain yet. We've got a long way to go, and I'm just excited to be able to share that with the great fans of Illinois. And big thanks to Josh and Chancellor Jones for their belief in me.
Going into year 5, does it feel like it's been that long to you? I'm sure maybe some ways it has been, and you know, the lows in there. There has been some highs as well. How do you sum up what that has been here in your time so far and what you've been able to establish?
Well, I don't think it's ever fun when you're building. Fun comes from the success, and winning is really hard, and we talk a lot about enjoying those moments. But I do think that the early years were a challenge in terms of we were laying a foundation, and there's going to be hiccups. I know what the process is about, but I think we're in a great place in terms of understanding the process. We're getting the right type of athletes to our university, and in a lot of ways it doesn't seem like 5 years, man. It's really flown by.
How have you changed as a coach since then?
Oh, I think I've matured. I think I self-evaluate. I think it's one of the best things I do. I think you adapt to your surroundings, so to speak. I think every job has its own personality, and it's my job to adjust to that. And I think we've done that. I think we've grown in terms of making changes schematically. I think that whatever that is, we want to do that to match the team, and yet never touch what is the base, what our culture is, and what we stand for, and that's the integrity of the program. That hasn't changed, but I think we've adapted in a lot of other ways.
Speaking of adapting and adjusting, I know going into this past offseason, replacing all 3 assistant coaches probably wasn't at the top of your list. Yet here we are, and now you have a new mix of guys. What were you looking for in that with those guys, and how has that transition gone for you?
Yeah, you know, life happens, and you never expect that. People make decisions. It's not like we lost them to bad places, a couple to Kentucky and one to Gonzaga, and you know, I think we felt great about where we were at, and those things happen. And now we go out and we just reload, and we just do it again. And you know, Chester, Jeff, and Tim are guys that we vetted, that we've known them, we've watched their careers. So I feel like we've put together a staff that is excellent for our student athletes now and for the future, and I'm excited as heck for where we're at with our group.
How do you coach Andre Curbelo? Is it different from some other guys? Because he's a guy, when he turns the ball over, you feel like you just want to, you know, yell at him, and you do at some points, right? But then he also brings a special dynamic to the floor that not a lot of other players have.
Well, and I think that just what you said, I think that he brings a dynamic. You know, every mistake Dre makes is magnified, and it just has a different air about it because we ask so much of him, and he's capable of so much. And you know, so when he does make a mistake, it's almost like you're in shock, and it's like, but when you really study it, you understand the genius behind Andre Curbelo. And I say genius, he is. He's a basketball genius, and you ask him what he sees, what he thinks, and you never want to lose that creativity. So I coach him with kid gloves. I ask him more about what he thinks, and I want him to understand time and management, time and score and manage a game that way. And that's where my frustration will get with him sometimes, but it's usually never about his decision making throughout the course of a game.
Fair to say your biggest recruiting win was one of your own players this offseason in bringing Kofi back?
Well, no doubt, and I'm so proud of Kofi. Kofi's he's a wonderful human. He's a guy that enjoys life. He's always got a smile. Every single day he wants to be coached. If they were all like him, this would be an incredible opportunity for anybody to get into professionally. He's just easy, and his legacy means a lot. The opportunity for him to get a lot closer to his degree, he's tracking in a great way there. All those things factored into it, and he has the simple goal of being the best player to ever wear the uniform at the University of Illinois. That's big shoes to fill, but one that's within grasp, and I commend him for thinking big. And yeah, we're excited to have him wearing the Illinois jersey.
Is there a balance? We've seen him bully ball. He can go do whatever he wants on the floor. But is there a balance offensively in what you're trying to do to get him to do some different things and to mix with potentially more shooters than you had last year even?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. You know, last year we forget we didn't have an off season. COVID took that away. And now we've had an off season, and Kofi's had a season where he's been able to work on his game. He's very active and very good in dribble handoffs now. He's comfortable shooting the 15-footer. Those are all things that I think everybody will get to see. And yet we don't want to lose fact that he had 79 dunks, and he is really a unicorn when it comes to the most powerful player in college basketball. So we'll find that balance. It's nice that we spread the floor a little bit with shooters to create space for him. And teams are going to have to pick their poison in terms of give us threes or stop Kofi.
Shooting more threes a possibility this year? Or are you trying to do that more?
No, we're trying to do that. We were 33rd, I think, in the country in percentage. I think we're 320th in attempts. And that worked out great for last year's team. We were an elite two-point shooting team. I think this year can be a little different. I think we can get 5, 6, 7 more threes a game, shoot them at a little higher percentage, and yet be just as productive with Kofi on the block, Curbelo and ball screens, and we hope that opens the floor up.
Fans want to talk about the starting lineup, right? You say you don't care, and that's fine. What about rotations, though? How are you mixing that and trying to find that as you head towards the season?
Yeah, it's still a work in progress. I mean, we've seen Coleman Hawkins just make a huge jump. Okay, where does that going to fit? We've seen Jacob Grandison, a guy that played with the Finnish national team and was an off guard all summer for them, and we've seen his game expand and grow. Now you put Austin Hutcherson back in the mix, coming off an injury. Plummer. I think we've still got to continue to work. I think that could add depth to us, but we never want to lose sight that we want our 5 most productive players on the court at one time, and that gives us the best chance to win in the Big Ten. And you know, if that gives us more opportunity to play guys, we'll do that. But I'm excited to see how all that plays out because I sure don't know yet.
The biggest question mark, defense for your team? I think you feel pretty confident that you can score. If I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're right. I think you guys can score this year. How much time are you spending on defense, and how much is that a priority for you?
Yeah, we're right now about 2/3 of our time in practice. It's the hardest thing to do, Brad, is build defensive chemistry and not make mistakes. We finished the year 7th in the country in defensive efficiency. We were 8th in offense. That efficiency is what we need to get back to. We're striving to be a little higher than that. But again, it's about not making mistakes. And, you know, it takes a little time. We're not there yet. It's about contesting shots. We have a saying, no uncontested looks. We want to make them hard twos. Our first exhibition game, they got 17 uncontested shots. We've got to clean that up. And so we're continuing to grow there, and again, it's no different than any other early season. We've got to continue to work and get better on that side of the court.
You had one of the elite closers of all time at this school, maybe in the country, the last couple of years with Ayo Dosunmu. Of course, he's now playing with the Bulls. So who takes those last shots, or is that something you're still working with?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I think when Ayo was out last year, and I go back to the Indiana game in Bloomington, you know, we gave the ball to Bello. And Bello closed the game, but he did it a little bit differently than Ayo did. Ayo was that assassin that was going to make the shot. Bello might not always make the shot, but he's going to make the pass. And he hit Kofi for a couple of incredible bounce passes and pick and rolls. Then we saw him in the Ohio State game, in the tournament game, hit a pull-up 17-footer. So there's no doubt. I think we've got Trent, we've got Bello. We know where we have Kofi. I think we'll fill in quite nicely there. We'll just continue to work on that as we go and see how that plays out.
Speaking of filling in, 15,000 for an exhibition game, I think that tells you, you're in a good place, right? When they bring in 15,000 for an exhibition. But when it really counts here and these games start to matter, what's going to be those feelings as you walk through the tunnel knowing that this place is full and back?
Yeah, I always go back to the Iowa game before COVID, and this building was the best in the country. There's never been anything like it in terms of the intensity, the excitement level, knowing we've got 15,000 for an exhibition. And we forget, we walked in this building last year with the seats pushed back, no fans. I'm proud of our guys for how they played last year, but never going to take for granted the passion that is Illinois basketball fans and the Orange Crush and everything that they mean to us. And it's exciting to see. I know this will be one of the best home courts in the country. We're going to benefit from their energy, and it's a big part of having a true home court advantage.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Simple as that.